Hey there, Whiskey Hellions. I'm Jake on the Rocks, and it's Bourbon Night. Welcome to a guest-hosted edition of Uncorking. I was actually going to call this a very special episode of Uncorking in honor of Bourbon Heritage Month, but every time I hear the term very special episode, it reminds me of that episode of Punky Brewster where the kid gets stuck in the refrigerator in the backyard during a game of hide and seek and almost dies. So I've elected not to go with that. This is just a guest-hosted edition. But it's still going to be special because we've got a great bourbon. I've flown in a bottle of Blanton's straight from the barrel from Master of Malt over in London. You can see the UK tax stamp on it. For those who are unfamiliar, Blanton straight from the barrel is a cask strength version of the Blantons we all know and love, but it's generally only available in international markets or duty-free. In this case, the kind folks at Master of Malt were able to ship this over safely. So in my hand, I have a bottle from barrel number 122, bottled at 129.6. So this should be a pretty good time. Let's see. Oh yeah, and in the interest of full disclosure, uncorking videos, if you've seen these before on It's Bourbon Nights channels, are generally, the host is trying something for the first time. So you're getting an unfiltered first impression of what they think of the whiskey. Don't want to lie to you, I have tried Blanton straight from the barrel on one prior occasion, but it was a different barrel and came from a friend's bottle. And by the time I tried it, I was already a number of rounds in, so I actually don't remember much about it. The only tasting note that I had afterward was that it tasted like the color red. Who knows what that means? So now I'm kind of interested to find out if this does too. So let's see, we've got fancy wax thing. This is gonna be like 90% of the video is going to be me trying to open this. Perfect. Okay. All right. I'm using a hand-blown glass open mouth glass because I didn't want to use a Glencairn for this because these are pretty high proof and I generally don't like my nose stuck in the barrel proof Glencairn, so we're going with this instead. Let's see. All right. So let's see. So in the nose, you certainly get the spice. There's some sweetness in there, almost like frosted mini wheats. Does that make sense? Like there's definitely like a sort of bready quality to it. There's very much something sweet lingering there, but I think if I had to distinguish this from a standard bottle of Blanton's, I think this smells a bit spicier on the nose than your standard barrel. So. Tastes like the color. Tastes like the color red. It's so. I do want to say it's certainly barrel-proof stuff. No question there. I will say as compared to other barrel-proof whiskeys, this doesn't quite hit with the same kick in the face than say like a Booker's, for example. I think this one so far, based on that initial sip, was a little bit cleaner, a little bit more fruit forward, sweeter, but it's certainly cask strength, if not overpoweringly so. It's nice and oily, which is what I really love about cask strength whiskeys, I think. Yeah, because what I love about cask strength whiskeys, whether it be Scotch or bourbon or rye, once you get the oil factor up, the palate, it really lingers, and this one is no exception. Like even now when I'm talking, you can feel the sides of my tongue tingling a little bit as it sort of like works its way around. But this is really fantastic stuff. Yeah, this is great. And I was also told that this really opens up with the tiniest bit of water because I'm fancy. I have this bottle of old limestone mixing water that my friend Ryan sent me that I've never opened because I always forget about it. So for the first time today, we're actually going to add in just a touch of this old limestone mixing water just to see what it does. This is the part where I need theme music because I'm trying to add just a little bit. Perfect. Soda water. Oh, this isn't going to Corona. This is soda water in a formerly a Corona bottle that is now a glass. All right, let's go. Okay, so with a slight touch of water, really brings down the heat, brings forward a little bit of charcoal, some fruit. You know, the finish, as you'd expect, is a little bit reduced. You know, I think overall, I would actually recommend this without the water, you know, without adding anything, just, you know, as it is. I mean, it's, you know, if you're drinking Blanton straight from the barrel, you're obviously looking for a higher proof whiskey and everything that comes along with it, you know, the specificity of taste. And I think that, you know, on its own, it's a drinkable and an awesome whiskey to do that with. I think this is probably a more approachable barrel proof bourbon than many of the other ones I've tried. But regardless, even with a touch of water, I still think it's highly enjoyable. And to be honest, if I was going to be drinking this all night, I would certainly probably be adding a little bit of water just so that I don't die, which is always my goal at a night out drinking. Yeah, fantastic stuff. I hope that you're able to get a bottle if you're ever perusing Master of Malt online. Highly recommend taking a look to see what they have in stock, or if you're in an international market, you know, it's worth picking up. It's something special, and although it seems ridiculous to go as far as London to get good Kentucky whiskey, no effort is too little for awesome whiskey. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've enjoyed the rest of the It's Bourbon Night videos. I know that I do. Until then, Whiskey Hellions, I hope that you're drinking something awesome. Have a great rest of your day.